Hello, Khaled. This is Devashish. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can hear you.
yeah. Just to let you know, the registration link on Safari doesn't work actually.
Okay. I think it. Okay. I'm gonna look into that.
Okay, thank you.
We are just waiting for 2 minutes. Once Mubin will be here, we're gonna start the meeting.
Name or it may be as
Hello, everyone. Hey, how are you?
Hi, good. Yeah, thank you. How are you?
Thank you. Good. Sorry for the technical problem. We have a little bit technical problem.
No
So,
problem at all.
so we're going to start everything on time, and we will not miss anything for sure. I can tell you. Uh, Khaled, do you mind presenting the slide deck?
Yeah, I just shared the slide deck. You able to see the slide deck?
Um, I don't. So, others, can you see the slide deck?
yeah.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, that's great. So it doesn't matter. Maybe the problem is my end. So welcome everyone. So today we are going to talk about AI, of course. So AI is everywhere. AI is taking our jobs, and everyone discuss about AI, and AI is in our phone and in our workplace. But the question is, how do we know AI? So do we really know? And today we're going to go down deep into it and try to find out how we can sail with AI revolution and get a lead in our career and everywhere in the life. So in this session, so we'll divide the session in a way that Khaled will continue the session. Then we'll have a live QA session. So then we'll wrap it up. So we don't take, we hope we'll do it in on time. So again, my name is Mobinul Islam. So I'm on behalf of Opportunity Exchange Group. I'm hosting this webinar. So Opportunity Exchange is a new group, is a collaboration between all the IT professionals, of course, Bangladeshi, living in USA and Canada. We formed it not long ago, 6, 7 months ago, and we are working really great. So basically, we are collaborating a lot in every sector. So this group already has more than 300 members. And lucky enough, we have so many senior managers. We can count up to 20 and directors, maybe 5, 6, SVP, 4, 5. And there are a lot of team leads and IT enthusiasts. They are love to help each other. That is a driving force. And of course, we have a lot of new grad. They're our engine. So we're growing all together. You know, in a very short time, I'll very happy to give a nice statistics. You can see in the screen that we have achieved a lot. We have mentored so many people in this short period of time by providing them technical support, how to build their career, or how to write, improve their resumes, techniques. And our members applied jobs here. Many, as I mentioned, many recruiters, that means within our team, they post their recruitment here. So that helps us to get job much easier. So we have in this group in the last several months, uh, 6 members already achieved to secure their job. And though one of them is directly from our referral and not referrals. But what I'm saying, in this difficult market, we are sailing, and we hope to go even further in future with a bigger crowd and lots of collaboration. I know everybody is willing to help each other. So I'll not take long. I will hand over to Khaled Saifullah. By training, he's an engineer in computer science and engineering, and he did his master's from Saskatchewan University recently. Not recently, actually. He's with Microsoft quite some time as a senior developer. So I'll hand over the session to him. I hope you will have a very good presentation today. And again, if you kindly write down your questions in the chat, and we'll of course have you raise your hand so that we can give you a chance to ask the question at the end. Thank you, Khaled. You're welcome.
Thank you, Mubin bhai. Hi, everyone. So I think I don't need to give my introduction. Mubin bhai already gave it. So before starting my presentation, so I created a couple of polls. It's an interactive polls. I'm gonna launch the first polls. It might take 30 seconds. You can answer that whatever answer suits you. And I will gonna have couple of such polls during my presentation to make this presentation interactive. So I'm launching it, so hopefully you will be able to see it. So you can submit whichever you think is the best suited for you. So while we are posting, so let's start with the presentation. The polls is live, so you guys can go ahead and answer that. I will gonna launch another post in few minutes. So AI, the word AI is not new to our world. It's been there for last 80 days. And we all heard about the Turing test, the back propagations, all the other stuffs during 1950s, 60s. However, AI comes into the life or AI comes into the industry or a profitable business or a profitable concepts after 2012 when the AlexNet has started to develop, started to launch, and then a lot of research has been done either on the natural language processing or in the image processing. At that particular time, AI started to boom, and now AI is taking out kind of the whole tech market, and it started to spread across the non-tech as well. So so as you can see, we all know, we all are following the news. It will gonna take a lot of space into our career, whether you are from tech or non-tech. So why not prepare ourselves for that? So while we are talking about the AI, I will only focus on the presentation content will only focus on the third golden age. So mostly between 2015 to till today. Coming to the next slide. So when we talk about AI, generative AI, and a lot of other things, the first or a very important terms that comes to our mind is large language model. So I will going to start my presentation from this point, and I will going to end up here as well. So I searched the Oxford Dictionary, and I found this definition. It says a software tool capable of corpus-based linguistic analysis and prediction, particularly an artificial intelligence system that process written instruction, which also we can call as prompts, and is capable of generating natural language text. Now, the definition itself is a long sentence. So how about I just took few words from the definition? I took the linguistic analysis, prediction, written instruction, and generating natural language text. So if I took these four terms as the primary or the main terms for this definition, I can build something like this. Now, within the definition, you see it talks about the language model and other stuff, but it never talked about the largeness of the language model, because the definition of the language model and the large language model actually the same. Large is an adjective, and it is used because this language model, especially when this GPT started to flow, then we see other large language models started to flow. They can take or feed a large amount, trillions of data from the internet, and to train themselves. And whenever they are actually inferring, I mean, whenever they are actually providing you the results, they can also take a large amount of context. That's why you will gonna see after the model, you're gonna see 5 billion, 10 billion, 60 billion. That's the largeness, and that signifies the whole definition of large language model. But the actual definition of large language model and the language model kind of the same. So what it does, so I took these four terms and I just divided into four blocks, and it looks like an machine learning model or something like that. So it has some input, some written instruction. It has some pre-processing, which in the definition called linguistic analysis. It has some machine learning and AI part, which in the definition it called prediction, and it has some output, which in the definition it called generating language text. Now, when I'm talking about large language model, I'm mostly focusing on natural language processing. I'm not focusing on image processing because, like, whatever my research I have done so far or whatever work I have done is mostly on the natural language process. If you are familiar with image processing, maybe you can add more stuff with my presentation when we're gonna do the open discussion. But since I am kind of knowledgeable about natural language processing, I'm focusing more on this one. But large language model or AI can also process the image, videos, audios, and a lot of stuff. Now, if I change this diagram, not change, just in a different way, I can create some kind of software engineering block diagram or something. Again, whatever you are seeing or the previous image or previous slides is based on what I understand. It's not standard, it's not by definition. I just created this block diagram so that we can understand more what I'm going to discuss today. So about the written instruction or prompt and generating natural language text, if we consider these at the front end, where the user interacts, a normal user interacts provide some instruction, get some natural language text as an output, then we can consider this part as a front end. Whereas the whole machine learning part, where the pre-processing happen, linguistic analysis happen, and prediction happen, we can consider this as a backend. However, for each of these block, either prompt engineering or the generating natural language text, it itself has a front end and a back end. So don't confuse those stuff. I'm just, for the simplicity, let's just focus on this stuff. And this would be our presentation overview. Today, since we have a time constraint, we don't want to take much of the time. I will mostly focus on the front end part. However, I have kept all the contents of the backend part, what I said backend, in the slide. I shared the slide deck. Hopefully you will gonna see all the content. I think someone is unmuted. Movin bhai, can you see who is unmuted? I can see here some sound. So the slides will have all the information. Okay, the slide have all the information, so you can go ahead and look into those. So let's focus on the first part, which we are calling written instruction or prompt. When I'm talking about prompt, written instruction, the first thing, the first buzzword that's right now going on is the prompt engineering. This is one of the key area where the industry is now revolving. A lot of investments are going on, and people are wanted to focus here. So I will gonna start talking about this. So between this time, let's have another poll started. So again, same as the previous one, I'm launching another poll, and please feel free to answer the question, and we will gonna see the results on our polls tab. So the prompt engineering, in definition, it says a technique that refines an AI system through repetitive iteration so that its precision and accuracy get better every time. If we look into some prompts nowadays using, the left one is very minimalistic chat GPT prompt, and the right one is the Google Gemini prompt. Again, there are a little difference between those. For example, for the chat GPT, it doesn't offer anything. It just said, what do you think? What do you want to do? Then based on the user query, it do the prompt engineering, and it use one of the many prompt techniques. I'm going to discuss a couple of them, and then it generates a result. Whereas for the Gemini, as you can see, there are a couple of blocks to help a user to choose something, some kind of template or a pattern. Again, this is not standard. It's based on how the system has been designed. So why I'm focusing on prompt engineering? Because it's a very new and emerging topic, not necessarily for the tech, also for the non-tech. I will going to discuss why. And then most of the interview question nowadays happening within our big tech. Even a couple of days ago, I think my manager had an interview, and he was asking us, provide us some of the prompt engineering based system design interview question. So that means nowadays, if you want to face an interview, whether it's a new grad or wanted to explore the AI field, you have to know some kind of system design based prompt engineering techniques. So let's talk about different prompt techniques and how that's actually accumulating the whole engineering space nowadays. The first one is zero shot prompting, which is the very common and the most used prompt techniques nowadays. It does nothing. It just takes the user query, and based on the user query and based on the knowledge the LLM has, it provide an answer. It can do summarization. It can generate a CV. It can, although for the CV you need to provide some context about yourself. But again, yeah, it is a just zero shot. So if you provide the context, it will going to provide you the content of the resume. It can do the classification based on the knowledge it has. It will not going to do much more than that. But if it's a little bit complex, for example, for example, I provided an image of myself, and I told the AI agent, AI tool that please create a picture of myself as a professional headshot so that I can use on my company's ID card. So this picture, I don't think the model doesn't have model has this picture. So I provided this picture, and the model took that picture as a context, and then it tried to do create some created a picture out of that. So few shot prompting means you are helping the language model or the AI tool with some kind of information. Not necessarily user have to help. it can take the context from some other place. For example, if I talk about the Google Copilot or any kind of AI assistance, you will gonna see if you ask them, it takes the context from the active documents where you are coding, or if you just point out that okay, just take this context and then debug why I'm seeing this error. So it takes the context. That means it takes some information, do some intelligence, and then provide the information. So it's not like the zero shot prompting where it just generate the information based on what it knows. Rather, it took information from outside as well. By outside, I mean from the context as well. Next, another very important or very commonly used is chain of thought prompting. So chain of thought prompting is an application of Reasoner's model. So the difference between generative AI and the generative LLM and the reasoners LLM is the reasoners can think by itself. So whenever so generative LLM just give you the output. It will not do any thinking part. Whereas for the reasoners model, reasoners LLM, it provides some of the it do the thinking first, and based on the thinking, it try to answer the question. Now the example I showed you is the worst example I can ever give, because here it actually goes nowhere. It just failed. But if you look at the prompt, I hope it is visible to you. It first try to get what kind of problem it was, and then it try to think, and then it actually it's talking to itself, try to answer the question. So here a chain of thoughts, that means it's going back and forth. It's trying to infer the question, it's trying to understand the question, and based on that it try to understand what's the context of the question, and then based on that it try to answer or try to generate the answer. That's why it called the chain of thought prompting. There are a lot of advanced prompt techniques. I'm not going to discuss all of them. I provided the link so that so hopefully you will be able to go ahead and see those ones. But I'm going to discuss one of them because that totally changed the game of prompt engineering, and that is the first one on the list: retrieval augmented generation, or RAG. It's been invented or launched by Meta. So what it does, so let's say ChatGPT, I mean OpenAI has its own LLM models. Google has its own LLM models, but you want for your company, let's say you work for a company and you want LLM for yourself. So do you want to create an LLM by yourself, or you can use the existing one? But if you're going to use the existing one, you have to feed with your sensitive data, for example, your financial data, your HR data, your research data. You can't do that. So here this RAG concept has come. So what it does, along with the user context or user query, let's say I ask, just give me the summary of the last 3 quarter, financial quarter. But LLM doesn't have that information. So along with the query, I'm actually attaching or I'm actually adding some data. It not necessarily need to be structured data. It can be an unstructured data. It can be a PowerPoint, sorry, it can be an Excel, it can be some databases, it can be anything. So now, rather than going to the LLM, it takes the user query, it takes the data from your data sources, combines them, create a context, goes to the LLM, and now LLM predicts or LLM generates the output based on the context, the whole context, your data and your query. So what it changed, that now you don't have to create any new LLM models for yourself. Rather than you simply add the data in the RAG infrastructure, and then you can get the desired output for your specific to your ask. So this is another very good AI skill that we need to have. We need to have some examples. We need to understand the working example, how RAG works and how we can implement it when we are going to design the system, when we are going to design a system, because that's again, RAG is very frequently asked question within the hiring process right now, as far I know. So what's in the future? So I divided this into two questions. So I believe like these two questions will have like kind of everything that you need to know about prompt engineering. The first question, maybe you can ask yourself like, which prompting techniques works for me and why? Now, by me, it can be you, it can be your company, anything. So you have to answer, so we need to answer which and why. So whenever we are talking about which, we need to know what are the prompt techniques available in the market. So it's kind of a technical knowledge that we need to know. But when we are going to answer why, we need to know we need to know the data. We need to be the domain expertise, and this is where the non-technical people can come into the play. So this is why I said in the earlier that prompt engineering or AI now focusing on non-tech as well, including the I'm sorry, the technical people. The next question that you can ask, okay, so none of the prompt techniques is working for me. Somehow I'm not getting great result for myself using any of the prompt techniques. Then the next question is, do I need to create a new prompt techniques or should I continue improving the existing one for myself? So here you are actually going into a new direction where you need the technical knowledge, you need the research academic knowledge, as well as you need the data knowledge, which is also a non-tech skill. I mean, non-tech part of the whole system. So this is kind of where the future is going. Now every day a new prompting techniques is evolving based on a domain, and every day new research papers are coming. So if you wanted to really build your AI skill, I would highly recommend start with the prompt engineering. So I have covered the first block. Now, for the next two blocks, starting with the linguistic analysis, this is mostly for the research or the academics people. I will gonna skip through this because like it will gonna take a lot of times. I would rather focus on our fourth topic. So the slide deck is provided, the information are provided, and if you have any questions, sure, go ahead, ask me offline, online, wherever you can. I will try to answer that, but the informations are there. While I'm going through with this, let's launch another poll. Go ahead, answer the poll, and I'm going to skip through that presentation. Same as the linguistic analysis, I'll be skipping the prediction, the third block. As I said, this is for me, this is the backend where the machine learning models, the type of machine learning models exist. I'm going to skip through, but the slides are there, contents are there. Feel free to go through with the contents and ask me any question about it.
Can I add something here?
Sure, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I can't download the slide. I'm not sure this is happening for others too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's same thing happening to me as well.
So the slides is in the SharePoint, but it's on my Microsoft account SharePoint. That's why. Let me try to put it. Let me try to upload here. Just give me a minute. Okay, I will gonna share the slide once I am done with the presentation, if that's fine for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fine.
yeah,
Thank you so
that's fine.
much.
Thank you. And another thing is, for the second poll, you asked which AI tools you use the most. You asked for multiple tools, but we can select only one.
Oh, it wasn't a multiple question. Okay. Okay, just choose the best that suits for you. I can definitely look into that. Just choose the best that like suits your cases.
Okay.
So let's focus on the final block, the final thing, which is called generating natural language text. Now, the AI industry is not limited into here. Although it says just generating natural language text is the final output of a large language model, but AI industry already moved from there, and now AI industry is more focused on performing some task based on the output. So let's not focus on how we can generate the natural language text, because that's the focus of the large, I mean the LLM models, but that's not the focus of the AI industry right now, or even AI research right now. So it means that now AI industry, so now after the uh, natural language test has been generated by the models, it performs some action, and the whole so it has been defined as agents. So agents, in my word, again, the sentence that you are saying is not standardized. In my word, agents means putting your words into some action. So let's say a user asks some question ask for summary of the last 3 quarters financially, and based on that give me what are the lacking points where we can improve and where we are thriving, so that I can make some decisions. So it gives a lot of information, a lot of tasks to the LLM models or the AI tools. It divides the work, plan the work, and then divide the task into some steps. After it divides those steps, it started invocating the tools available, or maybe it might need to import any tools if needed. Then once it's done, and now it's not a single step, it's a cyclic order, it's a cyclic process. So it will go back and forth, and we're gonna do the work. And it might also ask the user that are you satisfied with where we are right now. Based on that input as well, it will gonna again do the planning, do the tool invocation, and it will gonna observe. And after that, it will gonna execute some work, and it will gonna try to finish the task that the user wanted. So that means we are having now an agent and an AI assistant, some kind of co-pilot or some kind of assistant that we can rely on. We just have to ask the question, it will gather the information, and it will perform the action. So rather than generating the answer of the user query in natural text, agent perform action. That's the main theme of the agent. So when we are talking about agents, agents have a couple of components. The first component it has is environment. So the environment is like taking the inputs from the either from the prompt or from the sensors or from any other external body it can. So environment defines wherever it takes the inputs, and after performing the action, it might also notify the user, and based on that notification, based on the response, it can take more action. So it can be iterative as well. That's the whole environment part where the agent lives on. Then comes the perception. Perception is mostly the LLM stuff. So the LLM model, there might be some fine tuning, there might be some reinforcement learning, machine learning, can be have some tokenization, can have some embedding, everything within that. That's the whole technical stuff. Then comes the brain. By brain, it means storage. So it can kept the short term or the long term storage. So if you remember, so as I said, like you can, the whole process can be iterative. So that means it need to remember what the user have asked previously. Or even if you comes after a day, if you say that okay, this is not what why I want something new. So that means it have to uh, store both the short term data as well as the long term data. So the storage can have those information. Then it can have the knowledge base, same as the RAG, or even it can get new knowledge and can imply or add to its knowledge base as well during performing an action. So the whole brain, when I'm talking about the brain, it mostly I'm talking about the storage, how it's actually computing the storage, and how it's keeping the storage. And lastly, the main or the one of the another components is action. It can call APIs, it can call tools, it can retrieve data from the external source, it can communicate with other agents. That's the action it can do to perform the action the user asks. This is the whole agents. Again, this is pretty simple that I'm talking about. Nowadays, agents are much more complex than this. For the simplistic behavior, I just put it in the slide, but it's not that simple right now. This is simply a basic agent that I just described. There are a couple of types of agents nowadays. The first one is conversational agents, any kind of chatbots you see almost everywhere now. Even when you are calling to the support through the phone, you will hear a chatbots. That's mostly a conversational agent. Based on the conversation, it try to perform some action, defined action, mostly. Then comes the task-oriented agents. So AI assistants, Siri, or other AI assistants, or maybe your Google GitHub Copilot that has some task. You can assign some task. Again, GitHub Copilot is not necessarily a task-oriented agent. It can be a tool using agent based on how you are actually asking it and how you are actually setting it up. But for simplistic purposes, I just put it as a task-oriented agents where you are actually saying some task. For example, you are saying Google Copilot to find the actual reason why my code is failing or something like that. Or maybe in AI assistant you are saying okay, make an appointment with my doctor. So these are the task oriented agents. Tool oriented agents, as I said, these are interrelated. You can have multiple tools. For example, the Microsoft Copilot as a whole has a lot of tool in it. Almost all the software of Microsoft has its own copilot, and then there are some kind of central copilot that can control all the stuff. So from one tool, you can also do perform actions on other tool as well, because it's a tool using agent. Then comes the multimodal agents, GPT-4o, Gemini 1.5 Pro. So what it can do, it can process text, it can process image, audio, video, and it can do like from text to image, image to text, it can do both. Those are the multimodal. Autonomous agents not necessarily need the input from the user. It can take the input from the sensors. For example, the weather department of your city might have a autonomous agent. It takes information from the weather sensors and then do whatever it needs to do. And lastly, the multi-agent system. This is kind of the new and very highly recognized or highly developing sector. Multiple agents are talking among themselves. I'm going to discuss a little bit about that in our slides. So when I was talking about the agents in the action column, as a component of agents in the action column, I said retrieve information from external source. Now that might sound very suspicious, because now an agent, not a human being, an agent can read data from the external source. And that sounds like a very harmful stuff. So in order to resolve that, there is a protocol came, it called Model Context Protocol, MCP. OpenAI introduced it in 2024. So this is a good picture of MCP architecture. So the MacBook that you are seeing is the MCP client. That means you are the user. And you, let's say the user is using the Claude or Gemini or ChatGPT. So the MCP host is the AI tools that the user is using. MCP client is the user. Now you are the user wants some information for, let's say, from the Google Calendar, Gmail, Slack, even from your own data storage. So when you are asking your agent to provide, so take, like let's say next week, what kind of schedule I have, based on that, can you find me a 30-minute slot so that I can book an appointment with my doctor? So now it need to get the information from your Google Calendar. So while it's trying to communicate with the Google Calendar created an MCP server. Created an MCP server. By MCP server, it created some kind of APIs, and through that MCP protocol, your agents communicates with the MCP server of the Google Calendar, gets the data, retrieves the data, and then it performs the action based on that. So it's a network layer, it's a transport layer, whichever you wanted to say. But this is how the MCP server, or the MCP protocol has been designed. And almost all the companies right now are trying to create their own MCP server, so that by MCP server, they're exposing the APIs, so that it can provide information to the external agents. So as you can see, MCP protocol has in the left-hand side, it has all the client-related stuff. So MCP host, MCP client, and then on the right-hand side, as you can see, it can have different kinds of a remote server, maybe some development tools, maybe some production tools, a lot of servers, any type of servers you can define. You can expose those APIs, and the agents can actually talk with those API based on the authorization and whatever the protocol defines. So again, let's go to the agent one, and let's talk about the last actions that I talked as a component for an agent, where I said communicate with other agents. How that has been derived. So if there is an agent for a service, for example, Google Calendar itself has an agent. Why do I need to, or why do my agents need to go to that server or need to retrieve the data? Why don't the Google Calendar agent give me what I need? So now we are talking about two agents, two AI bots talking with each other. And that's called the agent-to-agent protocol. Google introduced it in April 2025. That's a very new topic, and everyone is just simply catching into here. So agent-to-agent protocol, again, as I said, it's two agents talking with itself. They have their own. They can have their own local agents. They can have their own framework. They can have their own MCP server, and they can have their own APIs. But all of them has been is not being exposed externally. Only thing exposed is an agent. An agent can talk with another agent to perform the action. So how that can be done? First of all, discovery. For that, there is JSON. It's a JSON file, but it's called agent card. It has all the information about the agent. Then some kind of authentication, API keys, OAuth, JWT token, whichever it works, and then some communication, JSON, RPC, and other stuff. This is how it can work. So since it's a very new, there is a lot to play with. So if any of you wanted to play with it, number one would be the Google agent space. You can create your own agent with your own data and try to communicate with other agents. Let's see how it works. Although it's paid, Microsoft Copilot Studio also provides some of the agentic AI interfaces or framework. Then there are a couple of programmatic SDK which we can also use in our code, and we can create our own agents and try to communicate with other agents. So that's kind of everything what I have talked today regarding the AI and other stuffs. I'm gonna just cover up, or I'm gonna just finish up about the career roadmap that I think might be best suited for us in near future. Why I'm saying near future? Because this is so dynamic. This is changing every day. The slide you are seeing today might be obsolete in next month. It might be already old maybe a week from today, and it's already old for some of the stuff because these slides I'm trying to make for last 3 months. So a lot of contents here is already old, already obsolete. So I ask ChatGPT that what are the emerging career fields we can have, and ChatGPT gives me a list. So you can be an AI agent engineer, and skills that needed is obviously Python, APIs, LLM, and so you can apply for, maybe in near future you will gonna see LLM agent engineer is hiring. AI automation engineering is already there, so you can be an agent engineer. You can be a prompt engineer, again a very growing industry, I should say, a career path, I should say. Prompt engineering, you need to know all the NLP, logical reasoning, and other stuffs. You can be the system engineer, developing the whole system where it can have LLMs, prompt, agents, MCP server, everything. You can be the autonomous research engineer, not necessarily user, sensor, bots. It can be that in that direction. Multi-agent, as I said, it's a growing field. AI product management. We have product management for the software. How about for the AI, so that they can sell the AI product to the user, get the billions? And last of all, ethics and governance, kind of non-technical, social science based, but it's very important. Now, humans are not interacting, AI agents are interacting. Then the second question that I asked, what are the industries that are adopting AI? Some of them are here, and I hope everyone, all of us knows, and I think some of them knows better than me. Finance, healthcare, education, software development, marketing, legal, operation, and HR. Everyone is looking for AI engineers. Everyone is looking for people having AI skill. So either you start today or tomorrow or a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, doesn't matter. You need to have AI skill. And then finally, recommended learning path. So you can learn the LLM foundation. You can master the different types of frameworks that has, how LangChain work, how Crew API work, learn the integration, how the APIs calls, MCP servers are working, how the autonomy are working, how those loops are working, how the multi-agent collaboration are working, and start to create small agents, small projects. And as I said, you can try to communicate with other agents. Crew has SDK, LangGraph has SDK, Google has SDK. So call them, try to see how it works. So based on what I have told so far, we will gonna start opening our forum, and it would be an open discussion. So before that, I just want to recap. I talked about different blocks of AIs based on my knowledge. Talked about RAG. I focuses on RAG. I focuses on agent, MCP server, agent to agent protocol, and try to focus on some carrier paths. So that's all from me. Thank you very much. And yeah, if you have any question, please go ahead, raise your hand.
Uh, Khaled, we have already a question in our deck. Says, can you please explain when hallucination is happening and why?
So, so hallucination for AI, like it's like technically it's not very close, like it's kind of close to overfitting an model in terms of product, as far I understand. If anyone knows better than me, please go ahead. Like, it's an open discussion. I am not the master of everything, so if anyone can answer that better, sure, go ahead. But as far I know, like, if we create or if we train models with more data, what it happen is like it try to give answer that doesn't have any value, because it started to take a lot of uh, information from a lot of places. So when I'm talking about model overfitting, it means it's going into a single direction. It's not able to give, I mean, it's going to the local minima, it's not going to the global minima. Whereas in hallucination, it try to answer the questions where it doesn't make, I mean, where like the answer doesn't make any sense to me. So I think there are a couple of parameters which can be tuned so that the hallucination for a particular problem or for a particular set of data can be controlled. But again, this is another thing that people will need to do. So, and if you have any better answer than me, please go ahead and unmute yourself and add your answer.
Thank you, Khaled.
Yeah.
So we have a next guest, Rafi.
I
Rafi, you
think
can go
Devashish
ahead.
want to say something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
guess.
also this is Chansul here. I also have a question for Khalid.
Sure, sure, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think very nice talk, wonderful talk, and it's good to know about what you have been doing at Microsoft, Khalid, and it gives us the confidence for our students that they need to focus on LLM and RAG or agents, all those things. So it's a very good because sometimes when we see, sometimes they do not fully understand the practical implications. But for you presenting it, it means a different perspective from practical angle. So my first question is, like, as I see, you are working on improving how to improve meetings, collaborations, all those things, right? At
Yes, sir.
Microsoft.
Mhm.
So how it is, how LLM is finding helping you to find out those features? Like, what is the perfect model for finding a new novel feature for doing having a better meeting setup, for example. So how is it helping, like how React, for example, helping for you? How you are collecting that data for React, for example, like your how do you provide your context?
Sure. Thank you, sir. So for us, for example, we are having a meeting. So Microsoft Teams can transcribe the content, which means whatever we are discussing, it can actually generate a natural text for out of that. And then for a company, for example, for Microsoft, it has all the internal documentation, data, and other learning system, everything there. So whenever this transcription happens, and based on this transcript, based on the transcript, the LLM or the copilot, we say copilot, is try to create few things. First of all, the agenda, it try to dynamically set the agenda. It try to dynamically set the works or action needed to happen, and also it does the
Mm,
summaries. So right now our team or our broader team is working on how to provide better summary, how to provide the action item, and then
mhm.
connect those action item with those internal tools. We might say,
Great.
let's say we will focus on this presentation, but then the RAG will gonna take that presentation and link into that summary
Mm.
so that people can go ahead and see that summary. Also, we are also working on reminding. For example, we can set some reminders, so every 3 or 4 days it will gonna
Okay, yeah.
generate the
Okay, thank you.
notification.
Thank you. I have a follow-up question, so
Sure,
that I
sir.
don't take too much time. So I'm just thinking. Thank you for your good answer. So that's good. So follow-up question is, given the nature of the work, like for your case, or given the all the features of large language models and the copilot, everything is agents, everything is like kind of automated. If you tell something, you have some, you are a very good debater, or you can think really nicely, and you can ask really nice questions, and you can think of, oh, what could be the follow-up, what could be a nice way to do it. So you know everything. The only thing you do not know is that you are not a computer science student. and that even if you are computer science, you are not really a very good programmer. You are, somehow you're not like, Khalid Saifullah, who was doing a lot of programming contest, in back. They are, highest GPA holder, they do really well in the exams, but they didn't really do programming. They can really ask, think very critically, although. So, given these circumstances, what do you think? So now, the LLM and all other things, did it bring an opportunity for everybody, even if somebody is not good at programming, and if somebody doesn't have a really computer science background? What about now people who are really solving a lot of complex problems in programming competitions, or doing a lot of, getting a lot of reputation? So do we really hire them now at Microsoft, or you can hire now anybody who can think critically? What do you think?
Yeah. So I'm going to keep it as short as possible. If you, let's say I went to the financial sector, I don't know the finance data. I might know the programming, I might know a lot of stuff, but I don't know the financial data. So there, a data expert, domain expert is very necessary for a large language model or AI. So if you are not a technical person, if you don't want it to be a technical person, be the domain expert, be the data expert, understand the data. It will give you a lot of opportunity coming months, coming years. People will gonna ask the non-tech people that if you have AI skill, we will gonna pay you more. And that's already started, that will gonna start soon for everyone. So if you don't want to be a technical person, go ahead, be the domain expert, be the data expert, be the infrastructure expert. You will be able to score a good position in the job sector.
Okay, thank you, Khaled, for clearing up. Very good answers. Yeah, I will pass. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, Rafi, I think you can go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, Khaled, we have 6, 7 hand raised
Yeah, I'm
up.
gonna keep it
So we
short.
can quickly answer and please precisely ask the question so that we can cover on time. So Rafi, go ahead.
Yeah. So my question is, the day before, not I think yesterday, OpenAI announced the agent builder. So I'm not sure whether you had a chance to look into that one. So my question is how different it is from the other platform like N8N or Make or Zephyr. Those are uh, agent builder tools there. So how different this one would be? Did you have any chance to look into those?
So I didn't able to look into the open AI ones, but I look into the other ones. So my simple answer is, these are all general purpose AIs, but we are started to move into the specialized AI. For example, for healthcare, finance, let's say airspace, other stuffs, right? So for those still we are not there, and that's why this general purpose can help for a particular company, particular field, maybe for the academics. But if you wanted to do something on this, especially when the companies thinks about agents, still today people wanted to create their own agents programmatically. That's kind of still the way to go. But again, for learning purposes, those are great. But I didn't look into the OpenAI agent builder yet.
So for those, I need to know the Python and API, RESTful API. Those two things I have to have good knowledge, right?
Yeah, I think we should. If you wanted to do programming, go ahead.
Yeah.
If you don't want it to do, as I said, infrastructure, so go ahead. Use the play with the agent builder. If you can see that, yeah, you can improve your skill based on that. Yeah, go ahead. Sure, why not?
Okay. Okay. And I have
Thank
a
you.
Mohit bhai,
Sorry,
you
well,
can
we have
keep.
to give one question. Then
Okay, no
once
problem.
it's done, you can come back with the second question. So the next question is Ashikur Rahman. Ashik, go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much. So, Mr. Khaled, it's been really nice hearing from you, and this attempt is really nice. Thanks, Mubin Bhai, for arranging this. I have one comments and kind of 2 cents in terms of career. So I would like to know what do you think, Khaled? So, like any other new technology revolutions or hype, technology is not only available for good people, this is also equally available for bad folks or threat actors, which means all the LLMs, all the RAGs are equally available to hackers and stuffs. So from that angle, I would also add AI security, AI risk carrier is very, very booming. So at the moment, people are struggling to understand the basics knowledge, like you are helping us in that domain. But once there is well thought and well analyzed by the hacker, which they are already doing it, AI security space will be booming too, in my opinion. So one of the career path also would be cybersecurity, the AI space. What do you think about it?
Absolutely, absolutely. I 100% agree with you. I might not be the expert, that's why I didn't add it into my presentation, but you are spot on.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Great question. So you are the security guy, so definitely there are a lot of things to do, and I think there is a lot of opportunity there too. So next guest is Devashish Chakraborty. Please go ahead.
Hi Khalid, thank you for your nice presentation. So I wanted to ask the same question like sir, like I wanted to get some insight of the work you do in Microsoft. Like, do you use the LLM in your daily coding, or like, do you use any kind of vibe coding technique like cursor or any other thing in your work life, something like that, so that we can get the idea like what they're doing in their office.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks. Great question. So, as like any other developer, I use the AI code assistants. For me, Google GitHub Copilot, but there are also AI code assistants that people are also using. But I use the Claude model from the GitHub Copilot, and that really helps me. For example, I created a new PR. So for our PR, our infrastructure has been set that it do the review by itself. It create comments, and it also provide all kind of information regarding that. And then we have some AI testing frameworks that's still internal, because these are not industry level or GA level. So that's why we started working on those test framework to see how whatever code I have implemented so far, how that will gonna impact the user. So there are some bots, like not necessarily agents, like bots, and we throw our features to those bots, and they try to perform actions between themselves. And then we get different kinds of metrics, we got different kinds of logs. And for our logs, since we can't use user information, so best way to understand where the issue is based on the logs. From our logs we also get different kinds of insights. So whichever tools we are using internally, either it's a code, either it's creating PR, I mean that CI/CD pipelines, either it's different kinds of logs, we have AI assistants, and they are actually helping us. And then we have some test frameworks where we can actually throw our course to see how our AI features are working.
Yeah, thanks for explaining that. And yeah, now I get the idea. I know like I can't anything.
Next guest, sorry to interrupt you. So you have to come back again. Sorry, Devashish. Um, Khaled Chaudhary, please go
Yeah,
ahead.
thank you, Mamindul. My name is Khaled, and Khaled, thank you for this presentation. I will have a very quick comment. I know a lot of people are there. It's almost 9:30. I'm a civil engineer by profession, working for the city of Toronto. So I'm not an IT guy, but I'm following what's happening in the IT world and using multiple IT tools for the last couple of years. Maybe just a request to this group through Mavinul. In the last slide, you showed different carriers, how they're impacted by the IT. So if in future, if you can talk about something on that line, that not just the people in the IT, the other people also, carriers also might be impacted, and how they can get ahead of the time to make them prepare themselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is a great feedback. So basically, we have to really know how things are going and how we have to prepare ourselves according to that. So our next guest is Omar Deep.
Yeah, hi, Khaled. Thank you. Thanks for the presentation. It was really nice. We came to know about, a lot of things about AI. AI is coming in for the future. So I'm actually from USA. I work as a consultant. I'm a senior architect in big data and cloud industry. So AI is kind of, coming on my way again and again. So I have a very burning question. It is something related to security, but it's a little different. Like in organization wise, if we are building a prompt, where actually, for the salesperson or an, procurement person, he can write and prompt and it's going to return him the result. So if the salesperson is writing a prompt that regarding, procurement, that what are the items that our company has procured, or like how much did they spend on this type of procurement, which the salespeople are not supposed to see. On the other side, if the procurement people are, trying to prompt up, like asking some question in the prompt, that how much sales is making, which sales rep is making more sales, this type of prompting they are doing. Okay. Since this prompt engineering can be extended to the organizational data, and if we bring the data in an in a data lake and everything, so all the data are tangled up, and it's going to like kind of if the procurement is asking the question about the sales, there's a high possibility they might give the answer. So in this AI, this prompt engineering and everything, is there any way to actually, secure those set of data?
Yep.
Uh,
So
so
I'm not. So I'm gonna answer it as short as possible. So there is a term called
yes,
deliberate
please.
alignment. So deliberate alignment is you can provide the security policy. I mean any policy, right? So for example, when the DeepSeek came, they actually created this deliberate alignment and they actually blocked all the information regarding China. So same as that. So deliberate alignment, there is one called RLHF, reinforcement learning human feedback, and then the deliberate alignment. Through these, you can provide the security policy, and based on the security policy, LLM only focus on that context only. This is one way, and then obviously with the prompt engineering, you can provide those as well. But if you ask me, like I'm gonna say, using both the prompt engineering, adding security policy on the prompt engineering side, I mean on the front end side, as well as on the LLM side, deliberate alignment, we can restrict the access to the type of customer or the type of user.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. That was a great answer, actually. I'm a new
Thank.
learner in the AI industry, so this type of question is coming in my mind. I'm a data engineer too, so I deal with data, so this type of things actually come in mind. Thank you. Thanks for the answer.
Thank you, Omar. Thank you, Khaled. Now I think my turn. So I have a quick question. So the students who are going to get into the university, what is the subject they can choose so that they can cope easily with the future AI revolution?
I think we passed a moment where academic knowledge is not that necessary for the industry, because for a company they only think about revenue. If any person doesn't need to be graduate can provide revenue, the company will gonna hire that person. So if you even if you're a tech person, if you're a non-tech person, go ahead, learn the LLM models, learn the LLM frameworks, play with those stuff. And I see a lot of engineers, even in my team, who was not even this computer science, came from the civil engineering, did a diploma in computer science, and he is now kind of the, the experienced programmer right now. He's doing a great job. So if you are a student, go ahead, learn LLM either by yourself or through the academics, whichever way it's feasible to you. But if you have the skill, company will gonna hire you no matter what.
Thank you. Next guest is Yasin Sharmi.
Shamima
Shamim,
Yasmin. Yeah, go ahead,
sorry.
ma'am. Uh, I think you are muted. If you can unmute yourself, if you are talking.
Hi, Khaled. This is Mukta. So your presentation was amazing. I really enjoyed it. So I have a question is career related. So for example, like graduate, newly graduate, MSc or PhD. for a company like Microsoft, your company. So they want to be work with AI agent related work in your company. So when they are when you are interviewing this kind of people, what are you looking for? Like to what extent we need to know? Because some, for example, I worked with agentic AI in my last study of my thesis. Okay, so I worked with light LLM, MCP, A2A, a lot of things, whatever I could do. So to what extent I need to know, prepare myself for your interview, like from Microsoft or some bigger companies.
First of all, I'm not qualified enough to interview a PhD student. But what I hear from our data scientists whenever we are interacting with them offline, online, they all talk about if like especially for the research, they mostly focus on if you have any kind of publication projects that you can showcase. That's the portfolio they look for. So publications, projects, for us engineers it's mostly about the skills, whereas for the postdocs, researchers, data scientists, it's mostly about the publications, or what are you doing right now. Not necessarily need to be in the bound where the company works, but if you in general have those in your portfolio, they really wanted to do. And I think there is another thing, I think it's called the PhD internship. Unfortunately, I tried to locate few people in Canada, but I think Microsoft doesn't have any opening in Canada, unfortunately. But yeah, if you wanted to relocate in US, I think there like Meta, Microsoft, Google, everyone do the PhD internship. And most hiring is also in our engineering and also in the research, most hiring nowadays are happening from the interns. So if you can secure an internship or a postdocship, I think that would be a great step.
So by postdoc, you mean like company postdoc?
Yeah, industry.
Okay,
There are
industry,
very
yeah.
few industry postdoc. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much. The next participant, Al Mutakin.
Hello, Khalid bhai. Thanks for your presentation. It was very insightful. So I have a question about prompt engineering. So you are talking about different kinds of prompt engineering and how they're important to get the best out of the LLMs, right? So say for example, me myself, I do not know much about say bookish prompt engineering, the different kinds. So the general rule of thumb that I use or follow while using LLM is like the more context I give it to the LLM, the better answer I gets, right? So in a real, as you're also using LLM in real life scenarios, right? So for development and solving, say, issues, something like that. So how actually, I mean, bookish prompt engineering, I mean, the different kinds that you showed in your slide. So say I know them or I do not know them, how much difference does it actually make? So what is the main difference? So I mean, apart from this rule of thumb that the more context that I give to the LLM, the better answer I gets. I mean, what is different in the different kind of prompt engineering that you showed? Or like
Sure.
how
Thank
much influence it has in solving real life problems?
Sure. Thank you. For example, if I talked about the zero shot and let's say the RAG, RAG is kind of the new standard. So in zero shot, you can just write. You write as much as you can. But the problem is it might not take all information. Whereas at RAG, you're not writing anything. You're giving the actual information, either database, maybe a PDF, some Excel sheet, and it taking the data from that those sources. So if you look into the differences, you are writing less, you are giving more, and you are getting more, or you are getting more accurate one. There are a couple of one which is called tree based. So it use the tree algorithm. There is graph based, graph search based algorithm, prompt engineering. So a lot of stuff happening. Most of them are research. The only 3 or 4 types of prompt engineering that's now in the industry is zero shot, few shot, chain of thought, which use the Reasoner's LLM, and then the RAG. So these are industry. When I'm talking about the industry standard, that means it passes few benchmark, and that's why people started to take it. I mean, the companies started to take it as a standard. So others prompt engineering are mostly research based. There are research papers. New peoples are working on that, but the difference is the complexity of work. The different prompt engineering returns different results. But I would highly encourage everyone if you can try, play with RAG. This is the new standard.
Okay,
Thank you,
yeah,
Khaled.
yeah.
Sorry, you'll get a chance after everyone finish.
Yeah.
So the next participant is Shoykot Mandal. Please go ahead.
Hi, thanks for the initiative and the time and for the nice presentation. So I have very quick two questions. One is that as you were a software engineer before and after the rise of LLM, you Khalid, what new issues do you see emerging from the LLM generated code in terms of bug and maintenance? And if you have time, just another question, has Microsoft developed any policy to use a Copilot generated code in their production system?
Okay, so Copilot or the AI assistant tools are really good at finding bugs or other stuff, but still, a lot of times we have seen that the while solving a bug, it actually
Mhm,
propagates another bug because
mhm,
sometimes it didn't take all the context, especially if let's say a code base is also connected with some other SDK that's just been referenced but not within the code source. So in those cases, it try to assume rather than
mhm.
try to get the actual context, and how it assumes based on how it has been used. Maybe they have the knowledge in the LLMs, or maybe from the external sources. So when they are assuming, they a lot of times they are actually creating a new bug. They are propagating a new bug. So although it's giving good results in terms of bugs, but unfortunately it's also creating new bugs everywhere. and and then obviously coding like it's good for example code formatting, code commenting, but again sometimes those are those words or those sentences regarding the code formatting or code is misleading a lot of time, many a time. I shouldn't say a lot of time, many of time it's misleading for the developer. So there need to be human input after code assistance provides some information. And the second stuff, since I as a software developer in Microsoft use the AI code assistance, whatever it gives me the results, I'm putting it into the code. So there is no specific metrics how much AI generated code has been put into the code base. As far I know, maybe senior leadership Satya and other stuffs might know, but yes, automated generated code are started to pop up within the code base, but a human is actually putting that code base, not some bots or any other stuffs, but human are using those code assistance tool.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Great question, both of you. Very, very good question. Okay, next guest is Masood Rahman. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Mobile Bhai, and Khaled for arranging this event. I think it was very informative, and it was a good chance to look at how Microsoft is using LLM. Let me briefly introduce. I'm an associate professor from Dalhousie, and my core interest is a bit of AI automation for software engineering domain. So I'm just wondering about the complete automation of the software development lifecycle. So, Khaled, you're talking about these different AI agents and automating these different parts of the software development lifecycle. But do you think that agent is going to replace the whole human perspective from the SDLC steps, or do you see any, let's say, danger of, let's say, total automation of this whole process? The trajectory is saying that we are going in that direction. What is your opinion regarding this?
So I will gonna answer that based on a history.
Yeah.
So when computer came, if everyone started to say computer is going to take our jobs in 1980s or in 1990s. What it does, it diversified the job, and I believe firmly the same thing will going to happen. You said it might danger or it might take the jobs of the software engineer or the software engineering development lifecycle, whereas I see it will diversify the whole process. It will not limit us into some particular framework or pattern. It might introduce new stuffs. As you can see, last couple of months, we see MCP, we see A2A. I don't know, maybe tomorrow there will be something else. The agent builders is there. There might be some new concepts. We were very excited about generative LLM, but when DeepSeek come with the reasoners LLM, it just crashed the whole market. People started to do the reasoners. We see multimodal, so it will gonna diversify. I don't know which direction it goes. I am not that intelligent enough to answer that question, but yeah, we have to be at the top of the competition, so that whenever a new stuff comes, not look at the back. Let's dive into the new stuff. I know what's going on. Let's see what's the next. So I would highly encourage to be up to date in terms of AI, whichever domain, whichever way you are working. And then whenever a new stuff is coming, I would highly encourage to grab it as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Khaled. Thank you very much. Next participant is Bonani Roy.
Hello, Khalid and Moin bhai. Nice to hear from you after a while. Yeah, so like Masood, I am also an associate professor at the Computer Science Department of USask, University of Saskatchewan, where from where Khalid graduated. So I will ask you a very specific question that is related to my library research. So we are doing a lot of program comprehension. Like we are trying to automate the process, and as you know, we used deep learning model. Now we have started using LLM. But when we think about industrial adoption, recently I went to a conference, SM. There, the keynote speakers even were saying that the adoption is very low. People don't actually trust LLM yet. It's still a long way to go for its full adoption. So my question is that when we are doing program comprehension and we are trying to use LLM in the ID, like in our software development practice, and we are building the tools for the developers. So from your perspective as an employer of Microsoft, like, do you guys use LLM in program comprehension, and how do you actually, what's your experience based on that? And is it creating any cognitive debt? Today I was even reading an article from MIT that MIT researchers found out that it's rotting our brain, like it's creating a lot of cognitive debts. So in your setup, like in Microsoft setup, where a lot of developers involved and they are using LLM, they are trying to understand program using LLMs, whether it is creating any kind of issues and how the adoption is. So if it would be great if you could comment on that. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you. Great question. Thank you, Aditi. So, yeah, definitely, it's it's rotting our brain in some way, definitely, because nowadays it's been integrated so much within the IDE that whenever we started to write a code, let's say I wrote the first half of the code, the second half is already been has been already been recommended. So I just hit tab and the whole thing is there. It's not only a single line of code; it's a block of code. Even if I just say within my prompt that okay, create a unit test for this specific function I just implemented, it will gonna create the unit test, and more than 70% time it works, right? So
Yeah.
definitely there is a cognitive depth. I'm not gonna ignore, or I'm not gonna say it's not. But what it does, like as I said in my early question as well, it started to diversify the problem. We are not limiting into some specific problem right now. For example, uh, a couple of years ago, we couldn't think about the video calling. Now the video calling is kind of part of parcels. Now we started to think, okay, we are transcripting the video calling. We are creating a transcript from the video calls, and then we are creating LLM task. So every day some new steps are coming. But about the program comprehension, again, programming is still the core of computer science and software engineering. I don't think LLM or AIs have able to replace human, or even for me, it's my personal view, even not close. but it's definitely an assistant, a good assistant. Previously, we had to search Google 10 times to find the answer. Then the Stack Overflow came, where we are actually much better than that. Now, AI, what it does, we don't need to go to Google search or any other stuffs. AI try to summarize the search result for us. So it's accelerate our efficiency. It also do the cognitive depth, and also it diversify the whole area of software engineering or source code.
Okay, thank you. So can I ask you a simple follow-up question?
Sure.
The thing is that is Microsoft taking any step like building any policies for the use of LLM in your settings?
Like for us, like if there is any policy, they will not gonna tell me. They will keep it
Okay.
hidden. But so whatever I'm seeing, like they try to fail me that okay, you are the king of the world, you can use LLM in any way. But if they have any policy, that's definitely hidden from me. And otherwise, like when you're talking about the policy, like I am not in that level of Microsoft where I really know about what kind of policy they make. It's much
Mhm.
higher than where I am right now. So I'll not be able to answer the question accurately, but yeah, there should be some policy.
Okay. Thank you, and
Thank
thank
you.
you to the host for this event. And I feel like it's really useful for us and also for the students. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are glad that you guys joined, and a lot of interest on it. So our next guest is Devashish Chakraborty. Please go ahead.
Oh, thank you for the chance again. So yeah, my second question was something like, do you guys have any product from your team that is on production that's being developed by the AI or the AI assistant tool? Or do you know any internal? Oh, I think you can't share all the things with us from your internal news, but like, do you have any product even from the Microsoft that is being developed by the AI assistant and it's on live?
I mean, you wanted to say like the whole product has been developed by the AI or
No,
like
not the
some kind
whole,
of bot?
a part of it or any
Oh yeah,
features.
yeah. Like as I said, like those transcription, summarization, these are all small part of the AI's tool that we are using. We are going to introduce few features in next half, where you will gonna see like I can just give you some kind of observation. Like for example, a lot of interaction happens within the meeting, right? Any meetings.
Yeah.
However, in terms of marketing, in terms of like production, or in terms of let's say marketing a product, how can those be helpful for the marketing team, for the host? So we are kind of in the process of doing something which will gonna benefit the like I'm in the core team of that, which will gonna benefit the marketing team of a webinar like that. For example, Mobin Bhai, he will gonna have some kind of thing that will going to help him to create some new events in future. So these are some of the new features that we are working on. And if there is any bigger project than that, definitely there is. But again, I'm not in that level to know those stuff. I only know what I have been assigned to.
Yeah. That is my question. Thank you. Thanks for answering. So if I update my teams, probably I'm going to get those features, right?
Yeah, you will gonna get. You saw today polls. We are going to automate the polls as well. So in future, you will gonna see those are the AI based polls as well.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, the next participant is Al Mutakin.
Hello, Khaled bhai. So another question. So you were talking about code review agents. So you guys have employed code review agent in Microsoft. So they review your course, right? So basically this is two questions. But the first one is like, is this a in-house product that only you guys exclusively use? And the second one is like, so when you are writing a code, a human is writing a code, and the LLM is reviewing that code. So what kind of feedback you actually get? Like how far the LLM is in terms of code review? I mean, other than like identifying so violation of best practices or conventions, other than that, like how good is it in identifying say logical errors or say some features is missing, something like that? So yeah, thanks.
So the code review AI agent is within the CI/CD pipeline. So if I create a PR, it's an in-house, and I don't think it's for the external people. the kind of problem or the kind of issues that it shows is if it generates any bugs, if it has any security threat, that means potential data is being leaking, something like that. Also, if I can improve the comments or if I need to add any documentation within the code, it gives the automated response. If I just click one button, it will gonna add that within my PR. Then definitely like if I can improve the reasoning better, less if I can use less data structure, less data. So all there are like a bunch of them. I'm just giving you some of them based on what I have seen so far, but it gives the logical the logical reasoning. It gives the code formatting stuff. It gives the security threat. It gives the any if I propagate any bug by the new code or not. At least I saw these four.
Okay, and so do you have any, say, insight on like how accurate those reviews are, right? It's giving
Mostly
all sorts
accurate.
of reviews. Okay.
Mostly accurate. Sometimes human feedback needed, but mostly accurate.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
fine, thanks.
Sorry, sorry to interrupt you guys. So we have a great interest, and we are continuing more than half an hour scheduled time. So we'll take last two questions, and please try to be very short and brief so that we can wrap up the session. So the next one is Bonani Roy again.
Actually, I don't have any question. I forget to. I
Okay, okay,
forgot.
great,
Lord, thank
great.
you.
That is really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
sorry. Yeah.
Shoikat Mondal, do you have any question?
Yeah, but just to share interesting findings from a recent research that's why I'm again raising concern about the attribution of LLM generated code, because recently we conducted a user study covering more than 60 countries and asking five programming related issues. And interestingly, we see that LLM actually responded, which are around 10% exactly duplicated code. That means I am asking a problem programming solution, then ChatGPT is giving the code, and when Khaled is asking the same uh, solution, then the ChatGPT provided the exactly duplicate solution. That's a big concern of unintentional plagiarism, because if you use this kind of code in your production system, then again have another user get the same code, then it's kind of clone, or it's a concern of plagiarism. So
I have a question. So
yeah.
when we are searching before AI, so we get a solution and we implement it, and many
Mhm.
times we use the same code. So how it can be a problem compared to AI?
Oh no, that's the matter, because when you are giving the attribution properly, because this code is generated by ChatGPT, but we have another study where we actually try to understand the attribution practice. So most of the developers even answered in a way that they are not even aware of the attribution. So when you are using the Stack Overflow code, then it is recommended that you actually mention the link and at least one sentence that this code is copied from the Stack Overflow. So when you are generating the ChatGPT code, using the ChatGPT code, then it is recommended that this code is somehow generated and exactly used.
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
but
got it, got it.
most of the developers are not even aware of this kind of attribution system, but LLM are generating exactly same code for multiple users. That's the concern of unintentional plagiarism. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great question. So I hope we are cover all the questions and everything, and we are almost 10 o'clock. So let me sum up what we have done today. We have introduced about Opportunity Exchange Group, uh, the community we are trying to build, and Khaled explain how the generative AI model is developed so far, how we can take the advantage, what the career path we are going to choose, and what is the opportunity. And lastly, we have a great discussion of many questions, and the team, Khaled, explained it very nicely. So I hope everybody enjoyed this session. We have planned to organize similar webinar going forward, maybe once a month, if not at least every 2 months. And we have planned for a in-person big event in a venue, physical event in somewhere in Toronto coming months. I hope everybody will join and benefit it. And I kindly request everyone, if you have an opportunity to help any of the members in any way, in any capacity, please do so because we need to help each other to grow. Now is very difficult time, especially with the economy and the job market. We really need to step up and help each other. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you, Khaled, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Everyone, have
Good
a
night.
good night.
Bye.